This week in the wild, things look a little different than they did the last time I visited with you. My, how things can change here in Minnesota in just a couple of weeks. This is Earth Week. Earth Day, April 22nd, is coming up this Saturday. And people all over will be going out into nature, doing things to try to help the Earth. Planting trees, cleaning up parks, all kinds of things. Do you remember when we visited last? Our focus was the American kestrel, these little falcons that live in Minnesota. Turns out American kestrels are in trouble. They need our help. For decades, their numbers have been declining. There are fewer American kestrels than there used to be. And if that trend continues, kestrels may be gone someday, extinct. That would be very sad. We don't want that to happen. Scientists are studying kestrels and trying to figure out what the problem is. In fact, this t-shirt I'm wearing was sold by a Minnesota scientist to raise money to help her do her kestrel research. Scientists have figured out a few things that may be problems for kestrels. One biggie is the simple fact that there are more and more of us in the world, more people. And we are using more and more of nature, which means there is less and less out there in the world for wild animals to use like kestrels. That's a hard problem to solve. A second problem, some of the chemicals that we use, the herbicides, the pesticides to kill the insect pests and weeds, those chemicals may harm kestrels. Those people who eat organic foods support farmers who don't use those kinds of chemicals. Third, and this is an interesting thing, it's a family issue. There is a kestrel cousin called the Cooper's hawk. Cooper's hawks are bigger and stronger than kestrels, and as the kestrel numbers have been going down, Cooper's hawk numbers have been going up. And guess what? The bigger, stronger Cooper's hawks like to hunt and eat sometimes. That's right, they're cousins, the kestrels. So we really can't do much about that. Finally, you may remember from the last visit we had that kestrels do not build stick nests. They search in nature for old tree cavities, woodpecker holes, and that's where they raise their families. As kestrel numbers have been going down, the numbers of some other animals in America that also like cavities, European starlings and house sparrows, their numbers have been going up. And so kestrels are facing more and more competition for good housing. And that's what the local volunteers are focusing on. They have built kestrel boxes, birdhouses for kestrels. And they put them up around the Rochester area. That's not enough. Once you put the boxes up, you gotta take care of them. You gotta check on them, because if starlings or house sparrows try to move in, you gotta kick those guys out, because these boxes are just for kestrels. I wonder how many of those kestrel boxes will be used this year by kestrel families. Last year it was 5, and those 5 families raised 20 new kestrel falcons. That's got to be good for the falcon population. I wonder if any student groups in the Rochester area will consider building their own kestrel box to put up in their schoolyard. I wonder what you wonder.